the record button. So, and you can hear you see my screen, and you see the video and everything. Cool. So, good morning. This is it. Here we are. I have this picture on the screen. This is the new Freedom Tower, and it's completed. It's beautiful. I tell you what, I missed. This is a couple of miles from my home, and I run by there every day. I took this photograph not that long ago. I think it looks like it was at the sunset because of the way the light is coming across from the right. But the thing that I want you guys to realize is that everything in this picture, everything, was created by people having conversations, okay? Powerful people. And this session is about personal power and developing personal power. So I can look you in the eye and say that you have unlimited personal power to do whatever you want to do, okay? And I'm going to prove it to you today. I'm going to show you exactly where the source of personal power is, okay, and how to access it, right? Whenever you need it, okay? But be clear that everything in this picture was declared into existence by people having conversations, okay? It's really amazing when you think about it. And we all have that kind of power, right? Couple little housekeeping things. If you want to make the video bigger at any point, you just grab the lower right-hand corner of it and you can just expand the video piece. It's all about communication, right? Does that make sense, Kevin? Life is all about communication. My claim, does that make sense to you, Kevin? What do you think?
That makes sense, Dan.
There's no result in your life, in my life, in Cammie's life, anybody's life. There's no result that isn't tied to how we communicate. So the really good stuff, the bad stuff, the mistakes, everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything is all tied to how we communicate. And in communication, if you look at this is in our workbook. The only things you can do as a communicator is right here. Requests, you can make requests, promises, assertions, declarations. That's it. And declarations have a couple of kinds, okay? There's assessments and offers. So you have a declaration, you also have an assessment. Assessment, oh, that's a beautiful car. Kevin, look at that car. What a beautiful car. What a fabulous looking home. Though it's a declaration, it's also an assessment, okay? Another type of assessment, if you hire a new employee and people are having a conversation about that new employee behind the scenes and they say, well, he's not too bright, not too smart. That's a declaration. That's an assessment that affects the future of that new employee. You see, so declarations are the power move that I want to focus on right here. A declaration is a statement that designs the future. How often? 100% of the time. Declarations determine the future 100% of the time. Always. That's what does. That's the only thing that does. Well, if you don't declare something, so here, look, here's down below here. Here's the past, right? Here's the future, right? Here's the present, right here. This is where we are, right at this very moment, right here. At this X marks the spot. Okay? If you don't declare something, the past will keep running forward and become the future. Like, that's why I said my dramatic weight gain over the last 2 months of 8 pounds roughly, you know, if that's the past 2 months is 8 pounds. I can project pretty safely into the future. If I don't change some type of behavior, if I don't declare something new right here, which I did, my wife and I did it together, you know, we declared new right here. Now I'm excited about the future. But before, last week, I'm depressed about the future because I see myself weighing 200 pounds, right? And now I'm excited because I made a declaration, we're eating differently. So the future for me looks bright again. It's really amazing, fabulous how this whole thing works. But this is the power move right now. My claim is that your future depends on your ability to weave together stories about the future. Powerful stories that include powerful declarations. I want to give you some examples of what I'm talking about. And if you go on Google or whatever, you can find some of these. But I pulled up some. Okay, so here I just looked this up. I don't know who this fellow is, but I liked what he had to say here. Declarations. A declaration is something that is announced, avowed, or proclaimed. That's true, right? You proclaim it. You know, like a declaration of love. I love you. I want to marry you. I want to live with you forever. Declaration that invents the future for you and your betrothed. Okay? When an individual makes a declaration, it's a marker. Interesting. That's what I said. Remember in the timeline, in the present, I set a marker. We're changing our diets. Boom, declaration. We're eating healthy. Boom, declaration about the future. Okay? The declaration marks the end of one chapter and marks the beginning of a new chapter, especially if it's done positively and explicitly. Really, really, really important that it's done positively and explicitly. Really, that you put a stake in the ground and to turn it into a commitment. Declarations by themselves are wonderful, but the piece that most people leave out, you know, so I watch a lot of these motivational speakers and all that, Tony Robbins and Les Brown and T.D. Jakes and all these people. Fabulous. I love them. I listen to them all the time because I'm engaged in that whole thing. I want to empower people, you know, but they talk about change all the time. People talk about change. You got to change. You got to change. You got to change. Fabulous. How you change, and this is the point of this, the personal power thing. When I tell people they have personal power, unlimited, you can declare the future, but you have to put it in time as well. Making big, bold declarations without a time element. It's like, so what? When President Kennedy said, we're going to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon, his exact words. We choose to go to the moon. And if you left it at that, people would walk away and say he's crazy. We're going to go to the moon. So what? This decade, the minute you put it, that's what they talk about here. You know, it's a marker in time. Boom. This decade, we will be on the moon by the end of the decade. Now it becomes something of real power. I want to show you something else. Watch. This is one of the most famous declarations of all time, right? Winston Churchill. You know, in World War II, the Nazis were trying to take over and destroy Great Britain, and they had sent this unleashed holy terror on the country, and they were bombing it incessantly. So Churchill rose to the occasion, and here's what he said. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the land. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We will never surrender. That turned the tide. He stood up and he declared that to everybody. It changed the war. And obviously, he got us involved and we defeated the Nazis. But be clear that he was inventing people with power that understand the power of declaring and declaration. My claim is it's not possible. It's just simply not possible for you, for me, for Cammie, for anybody to be a powerful human being without making powerful declarations. Not possible. You have to understand this key move. Okay? Now, the gift of, I think, of what I'm doing here, my work is that, and I'll tell you what, I have this, put together this YouTube channel. It's not quite ready for prime time yet. I have my video guy doing some work with me on it, but all these talks and everything are going to be laid out here. I already have a whole bunch of them that I've done in the past with you guys. We're laying out this YouTube channel, okay? And you see what I like to watch on, yeah, so these are the kind of things I like to watch on YouTube. I encourage you to go and get them. These are all motivational speeches. This guy, Jim Rohn, is fabulous, okay? And Les Brown, and I watch athletic stuff and all that. But the thing they constantly leave out, they leave out the source of personal power. They leave it out all the time. And because they don't know this. They don't know these 6 moves in language. They talk about having to change and this, but they don't tell you, how do you change? How do you do that? And what I'm saying is, you can change, and this is the source of our unlimited personal power. You can change whatever you want to change. And you do it through the power of declaration. That's how it works. Okay? Most people are totally unrigorous with the declarations they make. So a lot of times a lot of times these are subconscious, automatic thoughts. Oh, I could never do that. Boom, declaration that has you not doing whatever you were just talking about. So we have to be able to observe the automatic conversations and communication that creep into our lives. You know, a customer says, yeah, hey, I'm broken down on the side of the road, and so you have a choice. I can help you with that, or I can't help you with that. There's really only two options. I can help, I can't help. Okay? So in my work here with you guys, now we take it back to the business side. I want my goal for you, for everybody that works with us, my goal is that you all have realize over time, over this next year, you realize and get in touch with your personal power to declare whatever you want to declare, have it become real in the universe, right? Just by declaring what you're going to do and when it's going to happen, okay? And start to build that muscle and turn it into, have it become a habit. So how I do that is right here in the approach. This is the approach. You guys have it all. You should have the workbook. This is on page 9 in the workbook. Okay, and the key move is right here. I can help you with that. I quite honestly don't care what the customer asks. I really don't care what the customer asks at all. I want to see everybody just say, I can help you with that, and mean it. I'm the guy. I'm going to take care of you. You're in the right place. These are all power moves, power declarations. You've called the right place. Declaration. I'm the guy. Declaration. The sun, the moon, and the stars have aligned for you. Kevin, you are in the right place. You are on the right call. You are here with me at the right time. The future is very bright for you, working with me. You can say the same thing to a customer that calls up. Price shoppers. Let me tell you about price shoppers, Kevin. I love price shoppers. So I'm talking to you as if you're a price shopper. So you call me up, yes, you can tell a price shopper, can't you, the minute they call on the phone? Kevin? Oh, you muted me here. Okay. So here's the point. The minute a price shopper calls on the phone, I'm going to show you how this works, right? The minute a price shopper calls on the phone, you can tell that they're price shopping. You know it. That's my claim. Okay? So at that moment, you just time out. If you know also that if you give them a price, they go bye-bye. So you need to declare something new. You have to change the course of the conversation. Remember what I said before? I showed you. Here's the past is they're a price shopper, right? The future is you want them to be a customer. This is the future. You want them to be a customer, right? In the moment, you need to declare a new future. If you just give them the price, they're gone. And the future looks just like the past. They got their price and they left. You need to say, time out. I want to talk with you about price shopping. I want to talk with you about prices. I love price shoppers. Price shoppers are my best customers, but be clear that this is not about one set of tires or one brake job or one oil change for me at AutoSpot. My name's Kevin. My job is to be your car guy for life. I'm going to take care of you no matter what, and I guarantee you great prices. Watch. Okay, let's talk prices. But you make the power move. You make the power move right here in real time to invent a new future that didn't exist a minute ago. Before you said it, it didn't exist. The customer wants price. If you give them price, you know what the future is going to look like. They go, bye-bye. Thank you, Kevin. I'm gone. So the power in language to declare a new future, just like Churchill did. You have to. You can't let that customer be in control, in charge, just like the Nazis were in charge. They were going to destroy the country. He declared a new future. You can do the same thing in real time. You have to do the same thing. Otherwise, nothing's going to change. It's just like working out. Just like me changing my diet. Just like getting into a new workout program. It's all by declaration. It's all by design. So here's what my promise is to you guys. Because I know how this thing turns out. If you practice this approach, I mean practice it. Here's what I mean by practice. So practice is really important. It means reading it out loud and practicing every bit of it. First step, conversation to build relationship. Second step, conversation for action. The key moves, declaration up here. I can help you with that. I'm the guy. I'm going to take care of you no matter what. I promise you fabulous pricing. I will not be beat. These are all declarations that you say up top here. I want to see you. Conversation for action. Remember I told you, like President Kennedy. We choose to go to the moon. If without the time element, it's almost meaningless. Almost meaningless without the time element. So you guys have to get rigorous. So here's my challenge to you guys as we start this new year. A, come to all these sessions. B, practice this thing 200 times. If you work on this and practice it and get this as a song in your bones, it will change the game for you. Not only on the inbound call, but also on the outbound. But be clear, the power move is one of making declarations. All right, watch. Inbound, this is the inbound approach, right? All about declaration, commitment in time. I'm going to be your car guy. I'm going to take care of you today, 2 o'clock, right? Here's the outbound. The outbound is, you know, we've completed all the work for you. The car's up on the lift. We're just about done with the oil change. We did the inspection. Here's what I want to do for you. I want to give you new front brakes today as well. Why? Because they're worn out. I'll have the new brakes and the oil change done for you by 5 o'clock, just like we promised. Only $325. Complete. I'll have everything done by 5. Make a move. Make a commitment. This is not about manipulation. It's about making a commitment to do what's right for that customer. Boom. Just like Churchill was going to do what's right for his country. You are going to declare what you're going to do for that customer to take care of them, to protect them, to make sure the car is running right. It's a power move. It's a declaration and a commitment. It's all built into this one. So let's get the first one down pat, and then we come back and we'll do this one. And then if you drink, if you believe what I'm telling you here and you embrace it, which I suggest strongly that you do, that you will become a commitment-based organization pretty quickly certainly over the next year. And so the game is one of commitment, always, on the inbound call, when people are at the counter, and on the outbound call, or what I call the POS, point of sale conversation. All about commitment, all about personal power, you being as powerful as you could possibly be and making declarations and promises in time. Okay. One other thing I want to challenge you with, okay, is this, or suggest strongly that you do, okay, is get a notebook where you can start to invent and create narratives for yourself about your own life. I'll give you an example. I have these books. This is my new book, okay? And in this new book, I keep track of some of my workout stuff here, but I also have planning stuff for my company in here, vision, my objectives and goals for this year, okay? And in the back, on the last page, working backwards, I have ideas that I write down for, I'm writing a book. So I'm putting that out. I'm writing a book about all this stuff. I started it already, and I need a place to write ideas about. I write them down. So it's important that you have a journal like this. The other practice I want you to get good at doing over the next year is writing out narratives. The narrative, the story that includes all these powerful declarations, okay, really, really, really important. And the more granular you can make that story, and the more powerful the declarations are in the story, the more likely you're going to get what you want. You want to buy a new house, you want to lose weight, you want to stop smoking. You describe what it's like for you in the future. It is, make it very, very, very real, like Churchill did. On last week's, because I'm going to share it again, last session on Tuesday, I shared with people, I'll share it with you guys again because it's really important that you get used to doing this. You want to invent the future, my strong suggestion is you write it down in as much detail as possible, like I'm doing with my business. And this is one personal thing where I do my athletic stuff. Is I do triathlon. So this was in September on the plane down to Cozumel, Mexico, where I competed in the World Championships. I wrote down a narrative, a story about how the race was going to unfold for me. You know, and so I'll just read a couple of lines so you get a flavor. Just like what Winston Churchill was doing with regard to handling the Nazis, I'm writing about how I'm going to handle the future of the race. So here's what I wrote. I'll just read a couple of lines so you get a flavor of how it goes, okay? I show up early on race day, early and eager to race. Declarations, right? I'm ready to shock the world. It's a nice day for a big effort, and I am totally prepared. I get to the race venue early, as usual, and I set up my transition area. It looks good. My experience shows. I am ready. When I get into the water, I am focused on one thing, only one thing, the sound of the start horn. I am waiting for it. I am ready. So you could say it's an affirmation. These are declarations that I'm preparing myself mentally for what's about to happen. Okay? And that's what this approach that we designed for you guys, I'm telling you, if you practice it 200 times internally and read it and practice together, it's a game changer. because built into this are the moves. The moves. You know, I'm not saying that I want you to say this word for word every time. That's not the game. The game is having conversations that build relationship and draw people in. And then when you're doing that by making powerful declarations to people and promises, then you invite them to come in. I want to see you down here. Come on down, 2:00. I'm going to take care of you. So anyway, that's about it. We're just about out of time. I want to invite people to come in, back in, and please share with me any thoughts, observations, feedback, you know, about what you're thinking about the future. Because my intent, like I said before, is that today's the day. You're in the right place at the right time, in the right company, working with Cammie, working with the right, you know, it's all there for you. So time to let it all hang out. One of my video mentors also says, you might as well go for the moon, whatever your goals are. Shoot for the moon. Because if you miss, you're going to land in the stars, and that's not so bad, you know. So anyway, let's unmute. Let me get some feedback. Hi, Scott. Good morning. How are you? Kevin, you still there? I see you in the room.
I'm here.
Hey, all right. What are your thoughts, Kevin? Give me some feedback.
Just taking it all in, Dan.
All right, buddy. Implement. Now it's time to implement. Be bold. Put it out there, my friend. When customers call in, when they walk in, declare yourself to them, big time. Knock them over. You know, that's the game. Invent something new for them they weren't expecting. Shock them. Watch the look on their face when you say, look, you know what? I'm here for you forever. They'll go, what? You know, oh. They'll go home and they'll say, tell her husband, oh, this guy Kevin, he's a little crazy, but I like him. He's good. He's our car guy. Forever, for the rest of my life, I got a car guy. Nobody ever said that to them before. Have fun with it, Kevin. Scott, you there? I see Scott.
I think that might be Wayne.
Well, it's Wayne. Oh, all right. He's logged in as Scott. Anyway, guys, listen. It's been good. This is your year, and this year is not enough. You could say, look, this is my decade. This is my decade. This is going to be a big year for Molloy BDG. I know that. I'm so thrilled, excited about what's happening with Tire Pros and other situations that we have going. And I know this is going to be a big year for you guys too. You know, I just got off the phone with another client that's in the program. I'm going to see them in a few minutes. They're on the Central Time, New Orleans, and they are rocking it. They are rocking. They're making money. You know, it's just a great group. Anyway, listen, I'm having fun with you guys, and I appreciate you being here all the time, and we'll keep it going, all right? Be a banner year in 2017. Peace. Cammie, have a great day, my dear. Be good, guys.